Hi, I'm Dave from Dave Hadley Photography and welcome to my channel. How are you all doing? I'm lucky enough to say that I haven't been personally touched by the coronavirus yet, and doing all I can to stay safe and stay at home. At the moment, you could argue my biggest problem is that I need a haircut. I know there's a few of us out there. I'm not entirely sure if I can wait it out or I'm going to be getting the hair clippers out. Wait and see. You'll see soon, no doubt. I hope you're well and keeping safe. These are uncertain times and hopefully they won't last too long. But that's what I wanted to talk to you about today and tell you what should you be doing if your wedding is coming up this summer. There are a lot of brides and grooms in a state of limbo and they don't know what's going to happen with their wedding, be it in June, July, August, September, and I obviously have a lot of weddings in this time. No one knows. I don't know, you don't know, no one knows what's going to be happening in 2, 3, 4 months' time. So I wanted to share some ideas as to the sort of things that you could be doing to help yourself in the future and hopefully give you the wedding of your dreams. So here are my 6 tips. The 6 things to be when you are looking at your wedding and whether or not you should be postponing it for next year or whenever. Make sure that you stick around for the 6th one because that is the most important one. If you take anything from all of the first 5 tips, that's great, but the 6th one is the most critical one. Okay, so here are I have 6 things you should be doing to help yourself give you that wedding that you deserve. So 1, be realistic. Whenever your wedding happens to be this year, you need to be thinking about a plan B. It doesn't matter if it's in June, July, August, even September. We do not know what's going to be happening over the next few months. They're very uncertain times and you've got to make sure that you're covered no matter what happens, and that means investigating, having a think about things. And if your wedding happens to be in June and you're looking at postponing, I wouldn't recommend rebooking it in, for example, September, because we still don't know what's going to be happening. That's not that far away. So you really need to be thinking about next year. And I know a lot of you aren't going to want to hear that, but like I say, you need to be realistic. These things need to be considered and you need to make sure that you do have the wedding that you want. There's no point booking it until August, September and then having to rebook it again. You really don't want to do that. That will be just too much stress. I really wouldn't go down that route. 2, be proactive. This means speaking to, first of all, your venue. They're obviously going to be your first port of call and your venue is going to hopefully work with you. They're going to be in the same boat. They're going to have a lot of brides and grooms that are going up to them and wanting to postpone their wedding for times like next year. And what this means is that there's going to be a lot of people booking their days the next year, and the days that you want to be booking your wedding are becoming less and less available. So you really need to be proactive. You need to be talking to those venues and making sure that you have either your wedding postponed or at least a backup plan. You need your plan B. You need to be making sure that you have at least 2 or 3 dates that you can say, these are dates that we could have our wedding on. And then you've got time to work on it, you've got time to speak to your other vendors, and that of course is the next thing you should be doing, speaking to other vendors and finding out if they are available. And hopefully they will be, but the sooner you speak to them, the more chance that they are going to be available. You may also of course want to speak to your guests, especially your closest family and friends, and find out if they're available. The chances are that they are, but it doesn't hurt to find out if they're going to be available, so make sure that you do that. What should you do if your vendor is already booked? Obviously, you can't guarantee that everyone is going to be available for the date that you end up postponing your wedding for. Once again, you obviously want to speak to them, make sure that they haven't got any alternatives. Hopefully they will be able to do something like send an associate, someone that they've worked with before, another vendor that they can recommend. So I have other photographers, plenty of photographers, that if I were booked up already for your wedding date, I would be able to recommend several different photographers who would be a great fit for you. And hopefully whoever your vendor is will be able to do exactly the same. Even if they can't, speak to your other vendors. They also will have worked with other vendors. They will be able to find someone for you. You will be able to get someone to fill in, and you will still be able to get everything that you wanted for your wedding. Number 3, be flexible. You may or may not get the date that you want, but you have to be prepared and think about what would be okay. You may need to think about a weekday wedding as opposed to a weekend, or you may need to think about going a year later instead of next year, 2021. Think about the year after that, 2022. That may seem a long way away, but it will go very, very quickly. So you need to be flexible, think about the alternatives, and keep an open book. You may want to look at more of the winter months. The venue are going to be should be accommodating with this. Your vendors will be, and they will help you in that regard. So just think about being flexible and look at what your options are. Make sure when you speak to your vendors that you check out the contract. So hopefully you will have signed a contract with every one of your vendors about your services. Now, we are not all vendors are going to have situations like this in their contract. It's not something that any of us anticipated. So do spend some time talking to your vendors. They will be flexible with you and they will want to help you, and they may need to rewrite their contract, assuming that you're booking your wedding again for next year or whenever. I'm going to have to, I'm looking at my contract and trying to figure out what should be happening in cases like this. It's unprecedented. We simply didn't know that this was going to happen, and we're all having to figure these things out as we go. The other thing to make sure that you do is just have a look at your insurance. Now, hopefully you have got insurance. I realise that insurance can be a dirty word sometimes, and not all of you will have got insurance because you have the mindset that insurance is an unneeded cost. Nothing's going to happen to my wedding and it's all going to be great and there's just no need for insurance. Unfortunately, current times prove that, insurance does have its uses at times, and this is obviously one of them. If you haven't got insurance, when you do rebook your wedding, I strongly suggest that you do. But if you obviously do have wedding insurance, obviously you can have a look through that, make sure what you are and aren't covered for. Hopefully that will cover you should there be any problems or any gaps in your wedding. 4, be kind, be considerate. Every one of us is having the same sort of struggles at the moment. As a vendor, I'm having a lot of brides and grooms that are coming to me and they're very stressed, they've got a lot of anxiety, and I'm trying my best to just put them at ease, and there's only so much I can do. But a lot of other vendors are going to be stressed about their own problems as well, because it's a hard time for all of us. And if you are kind and considerate and mindful of their position, things will go so much better for you. They will be equally kind and considerate back to you. And make sure you're working together. This is not a situation that any of us expected to be in. So we need to be working together to give you the wedding of your dreams, and we're all going to do that. Number 5, be calm. This is a stressful time for everyone, and the last thing you want to be doing is panicking and stressing about things. I know it's so much easier said than done. I really do appreciate that, and you're going to be thinking, is your wedding going to happen? Is it not? Just take some time out. You're not in a rush. As much as you need to be proactive, don't overthink it. Just spend some time grounded. I'm not personally into meditation, but perhaps this is something you really would find useful. And make sure you're going out for walks. The weather is getting considerably nicer as we head towards summer, and spend some time outside. Spend some time with your loved ones, your partner, and just take some time out. Trust me, it will do you so much good if you just sit, think about things, and just be calm. So my 6th tip is to be positive. And this is the most important tip of all. If you take nothing away from my first 5 tips, this is the most important one. Be positive. You need to remember you are still going to get married. It doesn't matter if your wedding isn't this year and it's next year or even the year after that. You are still going to have the wedding of your dreams, I promise you. Spend some time with your loved ones. You are still in love. You are still going to get married. Just be with each other, support each other, fight through this with each other. This is a challenge that you will overcome, I promise you. We will all help you to that. We are all suffering from the same problems, but we will all get through this. And I guarantee you will still have the wedding of your dreams. Believe in it, have faith, and you will have it. So in summary, 1, be realistic. 2, be proactive. 3, be flexible. 4, be kind. 5, be calm. And 6, and most importantly of all, be positive. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you found something useful from that and got some tips to take away and things to consider in the next few months. But please do hit me up, give me some comments, send me a message if you've got any particular questions or anything I can help with. As vendors, we all just want to help, and I'm no different. I really would just love to talk and help with people. I don't care if you are my bride and groom or not. Just send me a message and I will see if I can help, or pop a message in the comments and I will look at, read and respond to it. Always will. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm Dave from Dave Hadley Photography. My links to my website and my Facebook and my Instagram, they're all about to show. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're keeping well. Look after yourself. Stay in love. Take care. Thanks. Bye.